Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Just wait for others to join in.
Yes, sir.
Electronic students are there. You see, few of you are there.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Stats
Yes, sir.
and electrical.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think should I wait for few more or should I start off? 19 of you are there. 19, 20 of you are there as of now. So I'm sharing my screen. You can hear me, I guess.
Yes, sir.
So should I start or should I wait for few more people? Oh, okay, I'll start without delay. Otherwise, many of you may be having some other classes. So without delay, I'm starting now. So it's already 10:34. So I'll be discussing the foundations of AI and then moving into brief overview of machine learning and deep learning. Just an overview part. Details we'll go to them later. Okay. So starting off, the foundations of AI were laid by this initially by philosophers and other things. So initially, anything that we don't understand is actually considered to be a philosophy. So earlier, how the brain behaved and other things couldn't be understood by the people, so they put it into the philosophy. Even long back, physics, maths also were under the philosophy group. And as and when the rules and regulations were deduced, so maths, physics, they became separate entities and separate subjects. And AI was under philosophy. And then later on, this as the rules of artificial intelligence came up, it has become a new branch of subject. So inherently what we have here is that yeah, I hope you have heard that Aristotle, Socrates, they were considered as great philosophers. So you have studied that in your schools, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here earlier, anything still now also many things that we don't understand we put into the philosophy category, and once we understand it, we have the rules coming up, we have framed the rules and so on. They come into a particular subject. We give a nomenclature for the subject, and that subject comes up. So coming to the basic. History based the different disciplines that contributed the ideas and viewpoints based on which the present day AI has come up. The main foundations, the first one was the philosophy. That's why I was mentioning the philosophy. So initially it was thought that can formal rules be used to draw some valid conclusions? How does the mind arise from the physical brain? Where does knowledge come from? How does knowledge lead to action? So these were philosophical questions long back, which had initially laid the foundation. Next came the mathematics part. So under this mathematics part, what was there is what are the formal rules to draw valid conclusions? What can be computed? How do we reason for some uncertain information? If you're not certain about something, how do you formulate the rules for that, and so on? Then came the economics portion. So in economics, the thing is that how should we make decisions so that we have the maximum payoff? So you'll see that in many of the this neural network equations, you come up with the solution based on, say, what is the means best of among the worst, or worst among the best, and so on. So that's why I said there is a policy of keeping hope for the best and prepare for the worst kind of thing in the last class, if you remember. So how should we do this when others may not go along? So these are the things we keep in mind, and other things. How should we do this when the payoff may be far in the future? So like you as kids, when your father or mother will say something, you go by it. But later on, what happens is that when you start earning the same thing, if they say, you may not listen to that. So the economics points of view, because initially you were dependent on them. So that's why you were say not all, just I'm giving some things that if somebody is say taking care of you and you are dependent on someone, then you listen to him or her more compared to when you are independent. And you, so that kind of thing happens to all of us, isn't it? So how should we do this when others may not get along? So if you know that you have to stay with that person for long, then it's okay. Then you will say do some adjustment. But if you know that okay, I don't have anything attached to that particular person, so then you may not you may take, your decision may depend on the forward and backward things, and past and present situations. You may think like that. So how should we do this when the payoff may be far from the future? Like I don't know whether I'll get any benefit from them. Then why should I do this? Or why should I do this AI course? It is not. It is being taken by the IT department. I am from stats or electronics or electrical. Why should I do this? ये तो MCA or MTech IT तो they are under this department of IT, so they may take a IT department course. But why should we others, who are from electronics background or electrical background or statistical background, why should we take this course? So those kind of things means you have to think what benefit you can get. Now if you are thinking that okay, it is only 4 credit outer department course, तब तो उससे अच्छा तो एनएसएस कर लेते हैं, या आई एम गुड इन पेंटिंग, क्रिएटिव पेंटिंग कर लेते हैं, जेएमसी लोग कुछ कुछ फोटो वीडियो कराएंगे, उसको कर लेते हैं. So you might think like that. But if you think that okay, AI can be applied in electronics, AI can be applied in electrical, some nowadays smart grids and other things, we can apply AI, we can make some decision making, some statistical things like stock market prediction or any other statistical inferences. Along with the statistical inferences, if I can put in some artificial intelligence algorithms and do the best possible search and knowledge representation and come out to a solution which may be of better condition along with the normal formal statistical analysis, then you may think okay, this might be of benefit, so that's why I'm doing the course. So there may be different mindsets. Somebody may be okay, I have somebody in a big place. I don't need to do a master degree, or I can directly get a job. Somebody who is in the entertainment industry, maybe singing, dancing, or whatever. You may think in a different way. So everybody is having a plan A, plan B, and maybe a plan C also. So accordingly, the weightage may be in different ways. So there, the economics point of view comes into account. So the same thing happens. The electronics guys, they know that. Say I ask them to design a electronic device, say with some microcontrollers and some circuitry and other thing. I said, okay, make me a design of a FM radio, and tell me, means what will be the cost of a making an FM radio. No doubt there are many Chinese companies making cheap things, but you may also say design a circuit which is receiving the FM channel signals, and then say playing the FM songs. Electronics guys can do that. Maybe it will not be of the same cost as a Chinese company, but say there is some making in India and other things. You are going by that. But what you have to do there is that you have to do the cost analysis. Cost analysis, how will do? Whether your system is having something more than the Chinese FM channel that is there, or you are having something more or less than that. So if it is that, then will you use this circuit? You will use that circuit. You will use a self-made circuit, or you will use some other circuit. So those things you have to decide on. So the economics plays a good part in that, and statistics is to some extent related to the economics part. And whether it is electrical, electronics, computer science, IT, computer applications, everywhere we have to do the cost and complexity analysis. Cost and complexity analysis is that somebody might have a 50,000, say your parents give you 50K and say that okay, अभी online class चल रहा है, 50K में तुम कुछ खरीद लो. Somebody who doesn't need, वो अगर इंग्लिश का है, अरे मैं तो आईफोन ले लूंगा, 50K में मेरा एक अच्छा एक आईफोन आ जाएगा, I can show off that and fine. Somebody who may be of electronics background, he'll say that okay, I need a very good computer, so I need to do some good computation and other things, and also I need a new mobile, so maybe I'll buy 10K one mobile and say 40K one laptop. So he may use that 50K in that way. And somebody who is having say who is from computer background, he'll say no, mobile to mera chal jayega, I need a very high performing desktop, because if I go for a laptop in 50K, compared to that I can go for a desktop in 50K, and I can put more RAM and other things. So who is from computer IT background, he'll be doing in that way. Or just statistics wala hoga, wo sochega okay, I need statistical visualization in a proper way. So instead, what, and my computer does not need to have that high end computing, normal programming will do. So I'll buy a 30K laptop, 110K say tablet, so that I can show the visualized graphs and other things to somewhere, and 10K one mobile also, or maybe vice versa, 120K tablet and 30K laptop. So the same 50K will be utilized by various people in various ways. So the economics that is there, and you are already putting your budget is 50K. Within that, whatever are your requirements, you will analyze based on that. So here you are applying the artificial intelligence that you have, and not your artificial intelligence, rather your brain you are applying, and you are doing that. Now you ask the machine to do the same thing and give your requirements and give your budget. The machine also can do that. When the machine does it, it is via the artificial intelligence, and when you are doing it, it is based on, but you know, do it unknowingly. You know the budget, you know this, you know that, and other things you do. Somebody who is from electronics background may think that अरे Redmi वाला 10K में आ रहा है, Samsung वाला 15K में आया है आ रहा है, so 15K वाला मैं ले लूंगा Samsung का. So somebody will ask why. Are you going for say you don't you want to ban Chinese products, so you are going for that? Well, no. I am an electronics guy. I know that the SAR of Samsung mobile with same RAM and other things, though it is 5 or 6,000 extra than Redmi mobile, is less. So it will affect my brain less, isn't it? Yeah, the beep sound I can't avoid because that's my UPS. Power is not there. Anyway, so I think electronics guys know about the SAR. Electronics guys, you know about the SAR? Electronics, who are there? Anyway, so that is the amount of radiation that the things are doing. Most of the Chinese companies, if you look, because normally nobody looks into that, have more radiation parameters compared to the standard one. Apple has lesser, Samsung has more than Apple, I guess, or maybe nearby. But Chinese mobiles are having very high this kind of thing. So it is so if somebody is conscious about that, he will avoid those things. If not, then not an issue. So anyway, other than the economics things, there are many more, like the neuroscience part, means how our brains process the system and how we will ask the machine to process it. Then the psychology part, how do humans and animals think and act. You will see that human का तो ठीक है, brain बड़ा है, will do. अभी ये मुर्गी का भी छोटा सा brain है, उसमें भी how he or she can act. Then this dogs, elephants and other things, every animal is having a brain of its own and is acting accordingly. So we have to look into the psychology part, and obviously the computer engineering part, where we have means can we build a this efficient computer or not, with these kind of things. So and the last is the control theory, which is related to the electrical students. So the control theory and the cybernetics is how the artifacts that we are handling in this can operate under their own control, how to control them. It is not controlling the bus parameters or say other things, but here is how the whole system control will behave. So these are the seven foundations of AI, based on which they are there. So there is a philosophical approach, there is a psychological approach, there is a mathematical approach, there is an economic approach, there is a neuroscience or bioscience related to neurons. There you have the computer engineering part, no doubt. Along with that, you have the control and cybernetics. Okay. So I hope this whole set of seven foundation is okay with you guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now going back, we had discussed that the AI is having the subsets, machine learning and deep learning. I'll just give you an overview today, and we can discuss these later when I discuss them in details. So this AI, the three stages of AI already I discussed. And now coming to the machine learning part. So machine learning is actually a subset of AI, as I told you, and it uses the statistical learning algorithms to build the systems which can automatically learn or improve themselves, but to some extent only, because we are still in the weak AI stage, and it is based on the experience. And if we consider experience, we'll say that just like human beings have experience, similarly here, how can we add experience? Here you can add experience by storing the past outputs, and say past input output patterns may be correlated and maybe stored. So that is the one way out. And coming to this here, you have a lot of things, like nowadays you are having Netflix, YouTube, Spotify. So there we have recommendations or things. I think I told my MCA and IT students that we usage of AI is there whenever you are searching something, because nothing comes in a flip platter. So what happens is that Facebook and Gmail, they are giving you free accounts, but at the cost of they are collecting data as you browse through. So as you browse through, whatever the advertisements you see and other things that you see, they will suggest these things in your Amazon say purchases. They will suggest you, say you googled in something for regarding shoes, or you have looked into Amazon or Flipkart for some shoes, and next thing you see that your in your Facebook account you have the advertisements of those things. You see some, say you are very much into say that DC or Marvel movies, and you you browse through them a lot and other things in your Facebook and other things, so you will see that you are having notifications that this is that you will see the videos coming up according to that. And as I told you in the first class that if I am an academic person, for me NBA stands for National Board of Accreditation, and say you are a basketball player, for you NBA stands for National Basketball Association. So when you Google with your Google account logged in the browser and you Google, you'll be getting NBA options in the Google search engine. As for the first few options will be regarding the basketball, whereas for me it will be the accreditation of universities and NBA program outcome, program educational outcome, and those things. So we are searching in Google with the same acronyms, but as our priorities are different, the things that will be coming up will be different. Okay, so that I think most of you have experience. So the voice assistants, then Alexa and Siri that you are having, they are also collecting some data, though they may be saying that they are not making it open and not doing this and not doing that, but some part they are doing, otherwise how will they run? So in machine learning, what we do is we train the algorithm by providing a lot of data, and that is what this Facebook and so you see the Google Net. There's a deep learning algorithm, Google Net, so that Google is able to do because of so many pictures being available to Google as a data source by us only. Okay, so their algorithm has been trained accordingly. So how many of you know about Google Net or AlexNet? AlexNet or Google Net? Somebody have some idea? Other than the IT guys, I think IT guys, I had discussed some things. Electronics, electrical, statistics. Anybody, any idea about Google Net other than the computer application and IT students?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'll be telling you what they are. Maybe if you want to apply, you can later on apply in your projects or other things. So GoogleNet is actually a deep learning network developed by Google. Based on it has been trained based on all the Google images that are available. Every time you Google search, you have an option of seeing images and other things. So they have developed a network in layers, deep learning network, and there it has been trained with all different kinds of thing, and it is still evolving time to time, because as we give more and more information, the Google Net evolves. And the advantage of that is that you can call this evolved network to sort out something what say you want to apply that sorting algorithm into your any application. You can just call that network using Python, MATLAB, or any other C also. I think the code is available. So you can call the code, put some data there, and this Google Net will apply that image sorting algorithm there using the deep learning, and it will give you something. So I'm just keeping it like a layman kind of thing as of now. We'll discuss that later on. Okay. Now, going ahead, the machine learning algorithms can broadly be classified into three groups. One is the supervised, one is the unsupervised, and one is the reinforcement learning. I'll be discussing these three briefly, and in details I'll be taking up later on. So this is the supervised learning. Supervised learning, if I correlate with a kid, it is something like, say you are having a kid, brother or sister or whatever. So that kid is there in the house and you train the thing. So I am giving the example of kid because kid is having a brain which is like your untrained brain or untrained neural network biologically. And the same thing can be done for a machine, which is also a untrained brain or network in the similar way. So here we have some input raw data, and you have a supervisor who will be a parent or you yourself, and you'll be showing them, say this is a circle, this is a square, this is, so you'll be bringing some square blocks or some different kinds of square objects and showing the kid, okay, this is a square, so okay, this is a triangle or cone, or this is a spherical shape, and this is a rectangular shape, this is a say square, and many more, cylinder and other things. So you show them different objects, you show them different blocks, and you tell them this is this, this is that, and other things. So once you have done with that, the kid knows the different shapes, and accordingly it can classify into that. So you see here in the left hand side we have green, red, blue, the different shapes mixed up, and as the algorithm is being trained by a supervisor on the top with some training data, and every time if he or she does it wrongly, the supervisor or the teacher will say, no, no, this is not in this group, this should be in that group, and this is not in this group, that will be in that group. Initially you will see that the cone thing is easily sorted out, cone or triangular thing will be easily sorted out because of its pointy shape, and then you will see the circle and square being sorted out accordingly, and later on the square and say rectangle will be sorted out. So like this they will be sorting out, you will see. So it will process based on more and more data coming up, it will process. So later on when you give him a ball or an apple, he'll put them in the spherical shape. You give them a box, he'll put it in the square shape and or cube shape, and you give some ruler or say some play, this rectangular plate, it will put in the rectangular shape. So the kid will learn automatically accordingly. So this algorithm takes its own known set of, why it is known, why I'm saying it is known, because the supervisor tells what is what. So it is it takes a known set of input data set, and its known responses to the data output is used to make it learn, or via the regression or classification model. And the learning algorithm that trains the model generates some prediction for the response. So there will be some prediction. The kid will put this into group A, group B, group C, but then you will have to check whether he or she, whatever he has put in group A, group B, group C is correct or not. If it is correct, you will say, good, you have done it correctly. Otherwise you'll say, no, 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 this will not be in group A, this will be in group B. And he will move, and he understands that this kind of things comes in group B and not group A. So next time he will not be making the same mistake because you have trained him. So that is the way of supervised learning, and the name suggests so only, because somebody is supervising it, teaching it, so that it becomes a trained algorithm, and later on when unknown data comes, it is able to train based on the experience gained by the supervision. Okay, clear about the supervised learning part?
Yes.
So if you have any doubts, please stop me. We can take time and go through this. Next, going to the next one, we have this unsupervised learning. So unsupervised learning, the previous one was learning with a teacher, and this obviously is learning without a teacher. But there is a basic difference. I'll come to the reinforcement learning later on. But what is so unsupervised learning is, you give the kid the different things, all the things you give the kid, and okay, the I think power has come back. So I hope you'll not be having the irritating sound now. So the unsupervised learning means, here earlier one was learning with a teacher, now it is learning without a teacher. I think that simple definition difference, I think you have got it. Now after that, you see the same kind of pattern is there, but you see initially that part is not there. If you see the previous diagram, here you have a training set data and a supervisor connected on the top. Here you don't have that, but instead you have an algorithm connected. Now this algorithm earlier was here only, this one was there, algorithm was there, but there was something connected to the algorithm. But now here you don't have the that connected thing, but along, instead of that, what you have this first block, which is known as unknown interpretation block. So based on the unknown output data, the kid does the interpretation. Interpretation means what? Here I'll put the kid, I'll put say oranges, then say apples and mosambis, and everything will put there along with some cricket ball, baseball, which are of similar shape. So if I put cricket ball, baseball, then tennis ball, then apple, this orange and Mosambik together. Some few apples, few Mosambis, few of this, say six groups, six things I have put. Now, what should be the main thing? The kid should differentiate balls and fruits, isn't it? Getting what problem we are giving it to the kid? We are giving the kid, say, 6 items. The 6 items are 3 are fruits and 3 are balls. Orange, a Mosambi, a apple, and say a cricket ball, a baseball, and a tennis ball. And say not only one, we are giving a good number of cricket balls, good number of baseballs, a good number of this. To make the complexity less, maybe we are giving them in of a similar color. Now, when we do that, what the kid will do? Kid normally puts everything in the mouth, touches it and other things. Now, he may be doing it wrongly, he may be doing it correctly, but he will group them. He may be grouping all the eatables into one group and all the non-eatables into another group. He may be doing that based on colors. So if he does it based on colors, if we are giving the SG red ball, so red ball and the red apple will come into one group. The baseball will come in the another group. The tennis ball and the Mosambi, if both are green, will come in another group. The orange will come in another group, isn't it? So the kid may do it in any way, but it will be based on its own interpretation. So we are not regulating it. It may be based on color. It may be based on whether if the kid is putting in the mouth every time, it is saying that, okay, this is soft, this is hard kind of thing. So he may do it in that way. So you are not telling him or her how to do it. You say, okay, isko segregate karo. So segregate, he can do it based on color. अरे एप्पल को छोड़ के बाकी सब गोला है, तो एप्पल को एक ग्रुप में अलग से डाल दिया क्योंकि एप्पल तो गोला नहीं है, isn't it? The cricket balls will maybe having a rim along with it. So if the rim is there, he will group it another way. Tennis ball will have a design on the top. The baseball also will have a design on the top, and those will be symmetric kind of thing. There will be no difference. Whereas the Mosambis and oranges will be unsymmetric because though they are circular, but they may be different types. But cricket ball, baseball, and tennis ball are man-made, so obviously they will have a self-similarity, isn't it? So here, whatever is the kid interpreting, he will group them in that way. Now later on, after the interpretation is done, this we will say, okay, these groups are correct, those groups are wrong. If you can change it, fine. Okay, clear the unsupervised part. Here the kid is interpreting. Okay, the kid is interpreting and doing the job. So this in unsupervised learning is where we do not have labeled data. See here, I told you that we are not labeling the data. Earlier, as the teacher was there, the teacher was labeling the data. The same thing if you do with the teacher there, the teacher will say, अरे ये सब जो ऐसा वाला है वो क्रिकेट बॉल है, उसको एक ग्रुप में डालो. ये सब जो ऐसा डिजाइन वाला है वो टेनिस बॉल है, वो इसमें डालो. ये व्हाइट वाला जो ऐसा है वो बेसबॉल है, उसको एक ग्रुप में डालो. ये सब इरेगुलर शेप का जो रेड वाला है वो एप्पल्स है, तो इसको एक जगह में रखो. ये जो ऑरेंज कलर का जो ये सब है, ये ऑरेंज है. उसमें से जो कच्चा वाला ऑरेंज है, if we don't give that, then all orange color ones will come in one group, and all Mosambis which look like oranges when they have a green color will be green or yellow color will be in the other group. So if we start telling that, it is becoming a supervised learning. If you don't say that, then it is unsupervised learning. And the kid should be, for unsupervised learning, the kid should be left, and based on that, he or she should be doing the grouping or clustering of that, and that by finding out the similarities, differences, patterns in the different data that are coming. See if you try to join in at 10:30, okay? So because I am logging in before 10:30, so that you don't have any problem in logging in. So
Sorry, sir. I was in hospital. That's why I didn't join, sir. Sorry, sir.
okay. So later on, what you can do is that the patterns of this data and whatever is there, the kid will be doing the exploratory means it will be searching. उसको पकड़ के देखेंगे ये soft है कि hard है. Cricket ball hard होगा. Mosambbi or orange soft hoga, so they'll segregate in a different ways. So they can do it in different exploratory manners. और जो मैंने example दिया, बच्चा दांत से काट के चेक करेगा, अरे एप्पल को तो दांत से काटने से दांत आराम से घुस जाएगा, तो उसको एक साथ मौसम्बी और ऑरेंज को काटेगा तो थोड़ा करवा लगेगा, तो दे विल पुट इट इन अ डिफरेंट ग्रुप. बॉल्स तो काटने से कुछ टेस्ट नहीं मिलेगा, तो दे विल बी पुटिंग इन अ डिफरेंट ग्रुप आल्सो. सो दैट काइंड ऑफ थिंग आल्सो मे हैपन, बट that is totally based on what? The first block, interpretation. So there is a exploration and then interpretation of data. Clear? So next, going to the reinforcement learning. Now you see here in the reinforcement learning what you are having a agent, you are having an environment, and then you are having a reward, and there is a best action, selection of algorithm, and state. Now here it is something like के टीचर है भी और नहीं भी है. करना तो क्लस्टरिंग जैसा है, लेकिन क्लस्टरिंग के लिए जैसे बहुत टाइम देगा ऐसा नहीं है. यहाँ पे क्या होगा, एक आदमी डंडा लेके खड़ा रहेगा और चॉकलेट लेके खड़ा रहेगा. चॉकलेट इज द रिवार्ड, डंडा इज द पनिशमेंट. सो इफ द किड डज इट करेक्टली, he or she will be getting the chocolate, and if he does it wrongly तो उसको डंडा मार देगा. सो अगर ग्रुपिंग सही हुआ तो बोलेगा नहीं कि सही हुआ कि गलत हुआ, डायरेक्टली बोलेगा. अभी इट मे बी दैट वन पार्ट ऑफ द ग्रुपिंग मे बी करेक्ट, द अदर पार्ट ऑफ द ग्रुपिंग मे बी रॉन्ग. ओके, सो हियर नथिंग विल बी सेड. हियर reinforcement learning means you give reward or punishment to the algorithm, and based on that the algorithm has to self learn. This is also a learning without a teacher, but only thing is that why it is called reinforcement. Reinforcement is because of the chocolate, the kid understands that okay, whatever I have done correct. Or based on the danda, he understand I don't know what I have done, but something I have done wrong because of that danda. So that thing that is happening is called reinforcement learning. Okay, so in reinforcement learning there is somebody outside with some rewards and say punishments, and based on the output coming every time, the reward or punishment is given. So based on the reward or punishment, if the reward is there, then it understands okay, यहाँ तक तो मैं सही था, then let's go to the next step. और अगर punishment हुआ, अरे यहाँ पे तो मैं गलत हूँ कहीं पे, I have to go back to the previous step and do something. Okay, getting? So this is a process of learning continuously by interacting with the environment in a trial and error. Why trial and error? Because when you do the trial, you may get an error or it is correct. If it is correct, fine, you get the reward and go ahead. Agar error aaya, you have to go back and correct your error. The reinforcement learning uses rewards and punishment, as I told you. So I hope up to this 3 machine learning basic algorithms are okay, but under these 3 various algorithms are there. We'll be discussing once we go to the neural networks, we'll be discussing those things. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I hope up to this for the basic machine learning 3 algorithms are okay: supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. These are the 3 algorithms. Okay, under these 3 algorithms, these are the 3 groups of algorithms. Under these 3 groups, there may be numerous number of algorithms given by different people. So you may have various designs under these 3. So that's why here we have written only selection of algorithm. The previous one also you see we have written algorithm only. We have not told which algorithm. There are many algorithms for that. Okay, in every figure you see I have written algorithm, isn't it? So this algorithm may be anything. So coming to the deep learning part. Now, the basic difference between deep learning and machine learning is that obviously deep learning is a subset of machine learning. And the basic difference is that here in deep learning, it is similar to machine learning. Only thing is that they are trying, this Google and other people, they have started trying to replicate the human brain in a way human brain filters the information. Normally our human brains filter information based on chehra dekh ke, body language dekh ke. Anybody has studied any book on body language? There are a lot of books in body language. Anybody has studied any thing in body language? Any book in body language? How I am behaving, मैंने हाथ कैसे रखा है, when I meet somebody, अभी जैसे कोई आके handshake करेगा, he may if he is holding somebody's hand very softly, then that is a submissive person, and he is holding somebody's thing strongly, he is an authoritative person, and he is neither holding it tightly, neither holding it softly, then he or she is a say in between, something in between. So you have, anybody has gone through this kind of body language books? Anyone?
I've seen some videos on YouTube, sir, about this.
Body language.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So body language is what normally if somebody is aware of, he is doing. But if you have not studied body language also, some you see some XYZ person, वो शायद मैंने first lecture में बोला था, say if you see somebody, मुझे किसी का चेहरा देख के पसंद नहीं आया, it may be that, okay, चेहरा देख के पसंद नहीं आया, it doesn't need that the person has to be beautiful or so, that person may be anything, but लेकिन how he is talking to somebody XYZ or how he is behaving may not be say how I like it. So accordingly, what I can do is that I may like or dislike that particular person. वो होता है ना कि वो कोई आदमी रास्ते से जा रहा है या कोई लेडी रास्ते से जा रहा है, he or she may be talking to somebody XYZ, but looking at that person's attitude or how he or she is behaving, you may start to like or dislike that person, isn't it? That is a human nature. So that's how our brains work, and in deep learning they are trying to do that only. What they do is that in machine learning, what we do, we as you have seen in all the three, we are applying some algorithms and we are taking the features into account, similar to like earlier anybody who has say gone through the forensics and things, do you know how fingerprints were analyzed long back? Anybody? Fingerprints तो वो ब्रिटिश के टाइम से स्टार्ट हुआ था. So मैंने how these fingerprint experts say verify fingerprints and other things, उसमें बहुत सारे statistics है. Anybody any idea?
Using multivariate analysis.
नहीं वो टेक्निकल टर्म मत बोलो, नॉर्मल टर्म बोलो, टेक्निकल बहुत लोगों को पता नहीं होगा. यू सी योर ओन फिंगरप्रिंट, द शेप दैट इज देयर is different for all of us, that's why fingerprint is used because it is a biometric. वैसे तो बहुत सारा है, there are numerous number of biometrics there, but the main thing is that what if you see your fingerprint, that is most, अरे कोई भी अपना fingerprint कहीं ना कहीं छोड़ जाता है, वो चोर लोग भी छोड़ के जाता है और अच्छा आदमी भी छोड़ के जाता है. So it may be for the security purpose or it may be for detection of say criminals, whatever you do. So मेन थिंग इज दैट आवर फिंगरप्रिंट पैटर्न्स आर डिफरेंट. हमारा हैंड का भी शेप अलग अलग है, सबका फेसेस अलग अलग है, बट व्हाट इज द एडवांटेज ऑफ दिस फिंगरप्रिंट इज दैट वो माइन्यूट अप्स एंड डाउन्स आर देयर इन द इफ यू प्रेस योर फिंगर ऑन एनी thing, you can see clearly that all the shapes are different. So how to detect those shapes is there, they can see how many ups and how many downs and how many connections and how many disconnections are there among the lines that are there in your fingerprint. So if you see earlier what happens, earlier the people were doing using machine learning. So there what they were taking the fingerprint images, they are connecting this point or morphological point, or ये जो जैसे अभी somebody was saying regarding the multivariate analysis and other things, those things computers are doing fine, but earlier when before computers there were fingerprint verification team was there where they used to look into those points and they will find out this point के साथ ये point दूसरा fingerprint का match हो रहा है, तो इसलिए ये उसी का fingerprint है. Those systems were not as good as our computers, fine, but they were the accuracy was high because human brain also was into that. Because earlier क्या होता था, हमारा तो कंप्यूटर उतना फास्ट नहीं था, तो fingerprint verification was done manually. So when they did manually, it was the accuracy was high, but the time taking was very slow because ज्यादा फिंगरप्रिंट हो गया तो किसके साथ मैच करेंगे? अगर हमको पता है कि पर्सन ए के साथ पर्सन बी का मैच या मिसमैच इतना बोलना है, देन इट्स ओके, यू कैन डू इट. लेकिन हम अगर बोलेंगे 100% का है, अभी तुम निकालो ये 100 में से कौन सा है, तब तो वो आदमी का हाल खराब हो जाएगा. गेटिंग द प्रॉब्लम इफ यू डू इट मैनुअली?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So basic idea is that our human brain does it using the images and then correlates it. Machines, we couldn't initially do it in that way. So initially in machines, what we did is that we used to find using image processing the connections and disconnections, and we were doing it. IT guys, I think I had taken up the image processing course last semester, and I had given in the morphological section, I have given a brief overview. So those who have attended that, I think you have the idea, or any one of the others, if you have attended the image processing course, they are, though it is actually a application of image processing, but some things are done there. So points are detected, and based on that point to point mapping is done, and then it is detected, and computers can do it fast. So that was the basic idea. So they used to, and later on when they applied AI to it, they applied the machine learning, because the images were there. From the image you are extracting some information, and that information is fed into the neural network. The whole image is not fed into the neural network. Okay, but human brains, they can see the when you see anything, you will see the ये person, ये लड़का और ये लड़का का same photo है कि नहीं. When you are identifying, you are identifying by your eyes. You are taking the picture into your brain, analyzing it. तो ये विराट कोहली का, जब विराट कोहली जब छोटा था तब का इमेज है कि नहीं. तो ये ही है सम प्रेजेंट फीचर्स, एंड जब छोटा था उसमें भी कुछ ना कुछ फीचर तो सेम होगा. सो देयर आर सम क्विजेस जिसमें वो सेलिब्रिटीज का बच्चा का टाइम का फोटो डालेंगे, एंड दे आस्क यू कि ये कौन है, who is this and who is that, and you can predict based on the features. So that thing you can also do. But how you are doing it? You are taking the image of the kid and correlating with the celebrity you know in the present date, and thinking that okay, this guy may be that, or this lady may be this kid, and so your brain is not taking the features, but unknowingly it is taking the features. You are taking the image only in your brain, but brain is deducing the features automatically. कि विराट कोहली का दोनों आंख के बीच में ऐसा है, सहवाग का ऐसा है, and so on. So you are doing it. So that is the basic idea. So in deep learning, what they are trying to do is that they are trying to apply the human idea there, and instead of doing the hard work of applying statistics, हम लोग बोल रहे हैं कि ये statistics वाले को क्यों बेकार में डालेंगे, मैथमेटिक्स स्टैटिस्टिक्स क्यों डालना है, वो तो हमारा ब्रेन ही कर देगा. तो ब्रेन का अगर मैंने मॉडल बना दिया कंप्यूटर में, ये स्टैटिस्टिक्स मैथमेटिक्स का हेडेक क्यों लेना है. नाउ माय कंप्यूटर्स आर वेरी फास्ट, आई हैव गुड अमाउंट ऑफ मेमोरी, आई हैव गुड अमाउंट ऑफ रैम, तो मैं उसको पूरा इमेज फीड कर देता हूँ, उसका नेटवर्क से वो निकाल ले. बिकॉज कंप्यूटर में तो मैं नंबर ऑफ नेटवर्क्स में भी मोर बेटर देन नंबर ऑफ नेटवर्क इन आवर ब्रेन. तो बेकार में क्यों ये स्टैटिस्टिक्स मैथमेटिक्स इतना हेडेक लेंगे. सो दैट इज व्हाट दे आर डूइंग इन डीप लर्निंग. सो इट हैज ए कंप्यूटर मॉडल व्हिच filters the input data through layers, but here they are directly feeding the image. They are not extracting the features and feeding. So most applications that they do, I'll show you this. This is the basic distinction. You have the inputs, you do the feature extraction, and after that you apply the neural network. This is in machine learning. In deep learning what happens? इनपुट डायरेक्ट दिया, फीचर एक्सट्रैक्शन एक लेयर एक्स्ट्रा लेयर मिलेगा, उसमें ज्यादा कंप्यूटेशन होगा, जो होगा करने दो. Computers are now cheaper, semiconductor is cheaper because of the VLSI, ULSI, and अभी जितना नैनोमीटर टेक्नोलॉजी है, we have gone down to 16 नैनोमीटर, 11 नैनोमीटर, and so इतना सारा रैम छोटा सा जगह में आ गया. बेकार में मैं क्यों हेडेक लूं ये बीच वाला ये सब फीचर एक्सट्रैक्शन का झमेला करने का, कितना सारा मैथमेटिक्स लगेगा फॉर फीचर एक्सट्रैक्शन एंड अदर थिंग्स. व्हाई शुड आई डू द फीचर एक्सट्रैक्शन? आई विल रिड्यूस माय जॉब. कंप्यूटर के ऊपर सर में डाल देंगे, कंप्यूटर तो है ही. Isn't it? Getting the idea? Basic difference. Here in deep learning, the feature extraction is done by the neural network. And in machine learning, feature extraction is done by algorithms. Okay, so that's why that supervised, unsupervised reinforcement, you have this algorithms connected. And then you have the neural network. All of you getting the basic difference? So this is from MATLAB. I have taken this. You see this machine learning. You give a input. मशीन लर्निंग को आदमी फीचर एक्सट्रैक्ट करके क्लासिफिकेशन के लिए डाला तो आउटपुट बोला ये बिल्ली है या ये बिल्ली नहीं है. This much only. In deep learning, because you of so much data available to Google and Google Net being trained so well, वो बिल्ली का फोटो डालने से सिर्फ ये नहीं बोलेगा कि ये बिल्ली है, बोल देगा कौन सा ब्रीड का भी है. Getting? So much of data is available, so much of computational devices are available. Why should you take the headache? It is similar to us. In one case, what we are doing, अंधा आदमी को बोल दिया, अंधा नहीं, maybe your eyes are closed. I bring a cat in front of you. You touch the cat, पकड़ लिया, पूंछ पकड़ लिया, हाथ से पकड़ के आंख बंद करके पकड़ के बोल रहा है ओके ये तो बिल्ली है. और दूसरा केस में क्या किया, आंख खोल के सामने डाल दिया. मीन्स इन द फर्स्ट केस बाय टचिंग इट, by hearing its voice, mew and other things, you are identifying that it is a cat. So your eyes are closed. You have not taken the image of the cat. So you have not taken the image but the feel of the whiskers and how it is, say, walking on you and say rolling in your lap and other things. You understand that, okay, this must be a cat. It cannot be a dog. Okay. You understand that. So that is your machine learning. In deep learning, what you do? देखा, वो अरे ये तो ये वाला breed का बिल्ली है. Getting? If you know it, if you don't know it, you take the photo, Google it also, you can get the output. और breed का जितना breed का है सब breed का बिल्ली का photo देख के बोला अच्छा है ठीक है ये इस breed का है. So by doing seeing it and you are telling it, getting the basic difference.
Yes, sir.
So in one case we are doing feature extraction separately and then doing classification, whereas in deep learning feature extraction and classification is done by the neurons itself. And here these neurons are the artificial neurons created either in software or in hardware. Hardware में अभी कम काम ही हो रहा है, maximum software में हो रहा है. Okay. So just like this machine learning has different architectures, we have a lot of deep neural networks. So they try to mimic the human brain. And the most popular are this convolution neural network, recurrent neural network, recursive neural network. And many people are having different things coming up, spiking neural network. Then nowadays many people are coming with different kinds of networks. Maybe a modified version of recurrent network will be coming there. Wavelet neural network are there. So a lot of different networks come up time to time. So I'll be discussing them later on. So I hope it's clear up to this.
Yes, sir.
So if you have any issues, let me know. From the next class, I'll be starting with AI. This is just the overview part. I'll be starting with the AI and we can accordingly go ahead.
Yes, sir.
So Monday, I'll not be taking a class. So we have a PhD interview and this BTech syllabus of all the affiliated TIT, Techno and those things. We are having a syllabus meeting also. So Monday, I'll not be taking. Tuesday, I'll be taking. So if I forget to mention also, at least by morning, I'll be letting you know I'll be taking the class. If I'm not mentioning even by the morning, then you can leave out. Okay. Or if otherwise, I'll let you know if I'm not taking the class on Tuesday. But you keep Tuesday in your mind. I'll be taking on Tuesday. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So let me know if you have any doubts regarding these weeks lecture. I'll be sharing the slides in your Google Classroom, as well as you can. All of you have the K-Nimbus account?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Those who don't
No.
have the K-Nimbus account, you can mail to our library and accordingly based on your email ID and your library card. If you're having the library card, if you don't have the library card also, if you can send your payment receipt of any of the semesters that you are a university student or the first admission thing, and you can get the K-Nimbus account. The advantage of the K-Nimbus account is that you don't have to purchase the books. A lot of ebooks are available, and the books which I am referring to, those ebooks are available online. And if you can download, it's fine, you can do it yourself. But I'm telling in general, for irrespective of my subject or any other subject that you are going through, if you, because you are already in the second year, all of you, so university has spent crores on the e-resources. So you not utilizing it is actually wastage of your money also, because that is your money based on which, or the public money based on which it has got the resources.
Okay, sir.
Yes, yes. Ananya, as you were saying, you can use the identity card as library card. Main thing is that you just mail or something, contact your HOD also. They'll say how to. I think they have a orientation workshop. Last semester also they did it. This semester they will be doing it only after the first years are admitted. So that won't be before the puja. But if anybody is coming here or mailing them, they'll give you the access account to the K-Nimbus thing, and from your home or even your mobile, once you have to log in through your desktop, later on you can do it in your mobile also. You can get any book. It is not necessary that it has to be a study related book. किसी को अगर कहानी का किताब भी है, library में कुछ e-books है, maybe preparation for any competitive exam and others books are also there. E-resources of libraries are everything that is free or accessible from the university internet is also available in the K-Nimbus account. But get your K-Nimbus account. आफ्टर नेक्स्ट ईयर तो तुम लोगों का K-Nimbus अकाउंट तो ऐसे भी ब्लॉक कर देंगे. तो अभी एक साल मिल रहा है तो एक साल यूज कर लो, isn't it? Unless somebody is doing a higher study, PhD कर रहा है, तब तो name means you keep on your registration in the university, you still be getting the access. But others, all of you will be next year marksheet मिलते ही, fourth semester का marksheet मिलते ही your access will be stopped. So try to utilize that. Any book, your department book also you'll be getting it online. Okay. Clear?
Sir, where should we email?
You see the website for the email of library information scientist. So library information scientist, Mr. Ashish Chaudhary. So he is having library information scientist at the @Tripura or something. You see the website, his email ID is there. You drop a mail, but in the mail you attach your that admission payment details. Otherwise he will not know whether you are a valid student or not. Or best will be your first year's admission, जो admission में जो payment किया था उसमें सब कुछ details है ना, enrollment number and those things. You drop a mail and say that I need my K-Nimbus access account. So they'll be giving you your access account. Mail में हो जाएगा. You don't have to come down here. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And you can use that. You can log in. Once you log in and password change कर दो initially, जो भी password देगा वो लोग. Then anytime you can browse any books that are there. Somebody may be preparing for competitive exam. किसी को कोई दूसरा किताब चाहिए, English का चाहिए, how to face interviews and other things. For my department itself, I have last year कोई लोग list ही नहीं दे रहा था. मैं IT से 25 लाख का तो मैं IT का ही resource लिया. IT department, out of 1 crore, IT department got 25 lakhs because other departments were not giving the details. So anyway, IT में हम लोग सिर्फ IT का नहीं देते हैं. We have given for English, for mathematics, for electrical, electronics, computer is all related.